All right, so taking a look at this here, trying to figure out exactly how the body and the cabin chassis come apart. Took some panels off. So I just took these couple panels off so I can tell there's two different devices here, two different panels here. Obviously the coolant line is going to have to get cut and capped, no big deal. Actually this heater might actually have to get pulled out. Actually that doesn't look like it's that hard to do. Let me just pull this out to see what this looks like. Yeah, this whole thing comes loose. Yeah, so you can see right there. So these bolts, there's one there, plywood floor. So this is all part of the bus body, and these bolts are basically what tie it to the firewall. So I'll have to pull these bolts out all the way up, put the heater back, and then you can see kind of under here, these bolts all the way across are all part of, you actually see the glue. So this glue is what they use in between the panels to seal the two together, and you can see the two distinct colors, so that's a good sign that that's what splits these two apart. And then there's a big C channel back here that these are bolting to. Let's see if you can get up in there. So this big C channel is basically the top of the cowl firewall. So all these bolts all the way down, same thing across the driver's side. I'll have to take the lights out because this clam driveline retarder was put in after it was all put together, so I'll have to disconnect that because that actually goes down into the drivetrain. You can see that run the wires back in there, and so that'll be a problem. I'll split that up, and then same thing over here. At the same bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of those bolts all the way down. Those come apart. The problem is going to be, I think, is glue. And you can kind of sort of see, you know, this is the back, this is the body half, and this is the firewall half, the chassis half. So the hard part's going to be glue, I think. Actually, you can see a bunch of glue over there too, but that might just be a corner. And then these here are exactly what I was looking for. So this is just a big connector that they use when they put the body on to connect the chassis to the body. So there's a couple of them here, and then we've got a couple of wires that were put in clearly after the fact. I don't know why there's 50 feet of them. It's got a connector on it, but I don't think that's gonna screw anything up. So these ones right here, you just got crimp connectors. Those join the two, so I'll have to cut that, whatever that is. One of these is going to be the switch for the retarder too. So, and then it's probably just an accessory, another accessory somewhere. I don't know, maybe it could be for the radio or something. So this one will have to get cut. That's a factory connector. These three are factory connectors. These two are radiator for the heaters, and then there's another one. This one, you know, another one down here inside of a wire loom. I can't tell. That one goes up here. There's three. Actually, that one might be the. I'll bet you this one is the brake retarder, and it goes up and out the firewall. So you just disconnect all that. That should be pretty easy, and then figure out how the hell to cut the glue out. And then all of this, basically this whole door and everything comes out with the windshield, the whole 9 yards comes out with the bus body. We'll be using these for sure at some point, guarantee it. Maybe that one too, I don't know. But definitely these ones. So this is some of the sealant, so I'll have to cut that out. I'm thinking like the oscillating tool is going to probably be the best thing for that. And I wanted to see what those couple wires were for that wire loom that was coming out. Where was that? That was here. That's this guy right here. That's a pretty good size solenoid. I'll bet you, almost guarantee you that is for the on-off for that driveline arrestor. I almost guarantee it. And then all of this stuff stays. Everything here stays with the body. Basically, I'll have to disconnect the windshield washer nozzle too, because this is going to stay, but this is going to go. Probably going to steal those wipers off the bus and put them on the Ford, because the ones on the Ford kind of suck. Not kinda. They really suck. They're terrible. So actually, I just started cutting away at this. You can see how that dies in there. So if you do that, and you can see how deep the knife goes. That's your seam. If I can get an oscillating tool in there to cut that glue, I think that's the ticket, because that'll get in there as far as I can go. I mean, I'm already getting in a good inch, but if I can get in there an inch and a half, I think we'll go. And then underneath the truck, I'll just have to make sure that we don't have anything like aftermarket that somebody put in that transfers from the body to the chassis. The nice thing is all the wiring for the lights for this thing, for the back lights, the buzzers, the parking lights, the flashing lights, the whole 9 yards, everything is inside the body instead of on the frame. Everything goes through that little kick panel, through this guy, and basically follows this channel. This has some radiator hoses in it too, some coolant hoses in it too. So this just follows this whole channel down, and you can see we just hit a heater, so they downsized it because they don't need quite as much room now. It's a little smaller, and then it disappears. So there's something interesting going on here. I'll have to look at that. It goes under the floor. Not sure. Oh, I don't even see anything in there. It looks like it's empty. But then when we come back here, I took this cover off already. Where'd it go? I think it goes over the wheel well. Yeah, it comes back here. So there's two more. This is all the like backup lights, the buzzer for the emergency doors, all of that shit is just right here. And then these two are for this heater under the seat right here, and that's the last heater. There aren't any more after that. So that's it. So they got a little channel there. A bunch of those wires just come straight up into this guy for this buzzer. That little switch right there. So anyways, I'm kind of curious. I want to look and see if I can see something under the bus. You gotta walk a freaking mile just to get around this thing. It's going to be a lot of walking. Yeah, see, that looks like it's empty. Actually, hold on. Let's grab the drill. See? I just walked a quarter mile just between those two trips, just to look at something and grab the drill. A quarter mile. There we go. There's another 1/8 mile. Getting my steps in. My wife will be proud. So full of dirt. Living in the country. Maybe it's bubble gum. Dirt and bubble gum. There's a couple more right there. Oh yeah, see, so they go under the floor. That's interesting. This is storage. Oh, there's a little pocket here too. Oh, yeah. No, you probably can't see him. Well, maybe. Way down there. Okay, so that makes sense. So those coolant lines come into this to drop down under the door and then back up. So, and there's probably, actually the electrical's probably in there too, I'll bet. What the fuck? Probably should get a longer bit so that it's harder to get into stuff. It's just broke that one off. Good. It's just stripped like crazy. If it wasn't before, it is now. When I was a kid, man, I used to love taking stuff apart. I take my dad's tools apart, get into his toolbox, find his drills, get a couple screwdrivers and some pliers and a hammer, take them apart. I was never very good about putting them back together. So this part's awesome because I really like taking shit apart. And the only reason I put shit back together is because I need the practice. I'm really good at taking stuff apart. Some wires in there? Yeah, there they are. Yeah, see, so there's wires. Those are all the brake lights, tail lights, turn signals, buzzers, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that makes sense. That makes that easy. I mean, I won't have to do anything with that back here because we'll take care of that up front. This is kind of a cool door. I don't know what, I wish I was a little more creative. Kind of a cool seat too. If there's something creative like the back door, a back door in this thing is awesome. I know what you're thinking. It's a school bus. You haven't seen a back door in a school bus before? Yeah. I have, but I've never freaking owned one, man. Once you own it, it's different. Totally different. So, anyways, UPS guy's pulling up. Bye-bye.